We've been trying so hard to make the church likable in man's eyes that we have reformed it beyond all recognition when compared to the church of the Bible. Consider there was a man who built a table. He built it to the exact dimensions that he wanted. It was perfectly designed for what he intended to use it for. He then left it with his friends until he returned from a trip. Now, although the man built the table to be exactly as he intended, one of his friends looked at it and began to think, this table would be so much better if only it were a little taller. So he reformed it by adding material to make it taller. Sometime later, another friend looked at the table and thought, this table would be so much nicer if it were a square instead of a circle. So he reformed it by sawing the sides, making it square. Still, another friend looked at the table and said, this table would be so much better if only it were longer. So he reformed it by adding an extension and making it longer. And after more time, more and more friends thought, if only, and reformed the table, making changes until it was no longer a table, but an outhouse. And then the man who built the original table returned. And he was shocked when his friends said, here is your table, but before him was an outhouse, completely unrecognizable from the table he originally designed. And despite all his friends having the best intentions, and despite them thinking they were making improvements with their reforms, the table was no longer able to fulfill the purpose for which it had been built. The table in this story is the church that Jesus built in the first century. The friends are the people who have tried to reform the church that belongs to Christ. He built it one way, and over the years, men have added to and taken away from his design. The result is our current situation. We have upwards of 46,000 denominations, all teaching things foreign and in most cases contradictory to the one church we see in the New Testament. The message is Jesus built the church as he saw fit. His design is the original, perfectly suited for his purposes. Who are we to reform it? Who are we to tamper with God's design? We need to abandon denominationalism. We need to stop reforming our churches and start restoring the one church of the New Testament, the church that belongs to Christ.